What's going on, guys? This is Chris, and today I just wanted to go over something that I was thinking about regarding the dynamic between the teacher role and the student role. So I had a lot of time to actually think about this. I started going hard when I was 21 in terms of teaching. So I first started off teaching just 1 to 3 classes a week. Within that year, I was around like 21, 22. I started teaching 5 to 7 days a week. I got good at it relatively fast. Like, I knew that I was not the best. I was actually very, very timid and nervous, and it took me a little bit of time to get the role down as the instructor. I realized, like, just because you're good at working out or doing some type of movement with your body does not equate to being a decent instructor, or better yet, like a great instructor. So what I found was that when I really started going hard and teaching more and more and more and more, I noticed that my student level shot down. So, like, at one point I was competing regularly in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was training 2-3 a days. I was going hard, and my teaching level was down here. Like, I was nervous. I was honestly, like, actually kind of scared a lot of the times. Like, what are these people going to think of me? And, it was very self-centered. And then I noticed when my teaching started to shoot up, my training shot down a bit. Actually, a lot of bit. Like, I forgot to eat sometimes, and I kind of put off training a lot of the time. And with mixed martial arts, it's so well-rounded, because if you want to get good at everything, you need to spread your time out so carefully. So you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I also teach street self-defense, Taekwondo, and Muay Thai. So with all of these things, it's strange to see, as you get better as a teacher, your student role kind of shoots down. And this was a very hard thing for me, because at one point, being a student really defined, like, who I was. It was something where, like, I got a lot of motivation from, and going to class and getting respect from everybody else for going really hard. And then I went into this thing called teaching, and it was very strange for me, just because it was hard for me to connect one-on-one with people, especially when you are more of an introvert. It's even more of a learning curve to be out there and be outgoing and be the real you and your authentic self. Like, what the hell does that even mean? And when I started this journey, like, full on, I realized that, like, me as just a student has to take a step back, and me as this, like, figure, as a mentor and a role model, a leader at my school, and really a teacher now, an instructor, I have to craft so many other things that I never thought about. For instance, my public speaking, making eye contact, body posture, what it means to post on social media and be a figure on social media now. Everything really started to change slowly. And what I found was that it's very demanding, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. You will question everything about yourself. And on one hand, that's very, very good. But then on the other hand, it can be very taxing, because, like I said, for me on my journey, sometimes I would forget to eat, and sometimes I wouldn't sleep that much, and sometimes I would stop training, or I didn't compete as much. And this was just something that came with the role, and that came with the duty. Is I knew that I never wanted to be an instructor who just shows up and goes through the motions. I always knew if I got into a teaching role, I want to give people something that I never got when I was a student. I knew that I never wanted to just lecture people, and I wanted to do something that was different and unique and authentically my own. And I really didn't want to continue on the path of being nervous and being so reserved and kept to myself. And really, like, the first paradigm is super selfish. You walk in the room and everything's about you. What do people think about me? Am I wearing the right clothes? Do I look right? Is my hair all intact? Like, it's so superficial, and it's like getting through those layers of just bullshit is so hard, because you start to realize what you need to cut out in terms of friends, family, bullshit distractions, just like pure noise, and what you have to add in, you know, solitude work, really looking at your inner self, analyzing your emotions, being objective towards yourself rather than clinging on to every single emotion that comes your way. And speaking about emotions, there's so many things that will come up while you are an instructor. Like, for instance, some days I wake up and it's like, man, like I don't know if life just wants to slap me in the face that day or what, but it's like hard to, all these ducks around just chilling. It's like hard to even get yourself motivated and get yourself out of bed sometimes. And especially when you're going through like a rut or a really difficult learning curve, you will find yourself in these type of emotions that kind of make you want to stop. But I guess like the main thing that I've learned is when you can really push past those emotions, there's something so beautiful and poetic on the other side. And you really find a piece of yourself that you didn't really knew existed before. And they're principles that you learn. So the principles that I have learned within the student and teacher dynamic is that in order to become strong in one, you need to step back from the other one. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's like, if I want to become a better competitor and a better student, I need to maybe step back from teaching and be more of a student. And then if I want to get better at teaching, be better with being a teacher and learn different ways to develop my public speaking, to connect energetically with people, to find solitude so I can unplug from the world, so to speak, and kind of be by myself. And then another paradigm that I started seeing was the one of burnout. Like, when I did start feeling comfortable with people and I did start really kind of enjoying what I was doing, I woke up one day, I don't remember when, but it was several months ago, and I'm like, man, this is really burning me out in a lot of ways. It's like really difficult for me to keep this up, like this motivation up. I constantly feel like Tony Robbins, like 7 days a week. And it was very interesting because I wanted to quit. Like, about a year ago, I really wanted to quit just because it got so much mentally and physically where I didn't know how to balance it out. And one thing that I found that really helped with, balance is writing shit down. Like writing when you're teaching, writing when you are working out, writing when you're gonna have solitude time, writing down if you're actually taking classes at a university. Like, I'm at my university right now, about to go hit a workout at the gym, and writing all of this shit down and holding yourself accountable to actually do it and follow through with it. I think there's something to be said about actually writing stuff down rather than just be like, yeah, I'm gonna will myself to do it this week and I'm gonna say it and do it. It's like, dude, you're not gonna fucking do it. You need to write it down and actually get shit done that way. So yeah, when it comes to teaching and burnout, I think that starts to happen when you do too much teaching. Meaning, like, be open. Like, I found when I was more open to learn from other people, the burnout kind of drifted away. Meaning, like, when I was teaching so much and being a student, like, so little, I was like, man, I'm not really digging this teaching thing. And then when I started being a student, like, so much, like, man, I'm not really digging the student thing. And then you have this like compromise of give and take, and what balance needs to take place in order for you to really get to the next level. And for me, that was taking a step back from college. And now that I have teaching down to like I'm talking too fast, to a autopilot mode. I can adopt school and college back in, adopt my martial arts training back in, adopt not college, I already said that, adopt a competition back in, and then continue to grow and have all of these things that I'm doing and I'm studying in school add to this, add to being a better instructor, add to being a better martial artist. Take up dance, take up improv, take up different writing courses or drawing, different ways of moving your body. And that's really it. I know I got into a lot of stuff here. It's just been really on my mind, and I feel like I needed to put this out there into the world for one of you who is either debating, going into an instructor mode and what that looks like. And it is very demanding, but I'm telling you, man, there's something that's not like it, that you will never learn just from being a student. And I think really that's where your happiness in life can start to come from that place of giving to the world and receiving as a student, and then giving to the world and receiving as a student, being a mentor, and then having people that you're mentored by. I hope this helps. If you have any questions or any comments, drop them below. And again, just to emphasize on the questions, if you do have any of them regarding any of the topics I've discussed in previous videos, drop them in the comment section. I would be more than happy to answer any of them and all of them. Until next time, peace.